Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working on this. It was brought to me saying it does not run. They said they ran it last season, but this season it does not run. So we can go through the basic things, but I think we're going to skip a couple things. But here we go. First I'm going to check the fuel, and as you can tell in there it's full. And they tell me that they ran the unethanol, non-ethanol fuel, so I don't know. And then what we can do is we can check the air cleaner. And this one, it's pretty nasty. It's probably the original one. I don't have these normally. I don't normally stock these things, so I don't have extras. So I'll have to look for that one to definitely replace. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to do a quick check of the spark plug over here. So that's what we're going to look at to make sure that it's okay. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect the spark plug. Can you see that? I hope you can. There we go. I pulled the boot off right there, and I'm gonna put one of these little small sockets on there, and let's go take a look at this. Okay, just quickly. So and looking at it, that looks pretty clean. It's got a little bit of fouling, but not a lot. I mean, that's hardly anything at all. So what I'm gonna do is, and it's a Briggs, so it's probably the original one. They might not have ran this mower very much. I don't know, but I'm gonna try something. Instead of going to what we normally do, which is, checking for spark now and going all that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a chance and see. Tight there. I'm gonna take a chance and see. I'm gonna spray a little carb cleaner inside the open of the where the air filter is, where the carburetor goes, and I want to see if this thing actually just catches, and that will just save me a whole bunch of time of running those tests. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just right in here. I'm gonna spray a little bit of carb cleaner, and then we're just gonna give it a pull. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Alright, so at least I know two things. Everything works. There's spark. It's getting air, so it runs. It'll run on that. But obviously there's an issue with fuel delivery. So what I'm going to do now is I can limit myself to probably something with a carburetor over here. So have to spend as much time diagnosing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and now take apart the spark plug. I mean, just kidding. The carburetor off of there. So we'll take the cover off and then we'll go. Alright, so this is a 7. I'm going to take the cover off here. I'm using just a 1/4 inch speed wrench. Let's take this off and see what it looks like. Then we'll have to drain the fuel, but I want to get access to back here so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, 2 of those there, and those look like just machine screws and not bolts. And then this is probably an 8, but I'm going to use my little screwdriver here. I think that'll be fine. There you go. I'll go get an 8 later on, but I got this reversible screwdriver, the one you just take this out of, so there we go. And then we just got to make sure that we put the bigger ones in the outside, but that's probably not too bad because these are machine screws and the other ones were just screws. So okay, so let's see what it looks like behind here. And I have to get a magnetic tray so I don't lose everything. So there we go. Let's see. There's one. And let's see, is there another one, or is that it? Oh, that's it, and then the breather in the back. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so we probably don't have to take the cover off on the top, so we're just going to do that. I'm going to set that right here until I go get something, and then we're going to drain the fuel before we can remove that. Okay, so we're going to drain the fuel, get a little needle nose here, and then we'll drain it into a pan or something. Alright, I moved the cord out. I put a little piece of plastic bucket here if I can, and now I'm just gonna loosen that hose and move the clamp out of the way, and we're gonna see if we can get to it now, I guess. So let's see. There we go. And then a little bit of pulling. Let's see if we can get that to move out a little bit. It spins. Come on, little guy. Move out of the way. I hope you can see. I'm just trying to get this fuel line to come off here. Okay, I took the shroud off here, and it looks like the carburetor, if you can tell down here, is just on there without bolts. It's just like, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to move it out of place here. Let's see if I can get it to move off of this. What's holding it in place? I can't tell what's holding it in place, other than this little piece of plastic right here. So I think if I can pull it straight, then all I have to do is we'll have to do is undo this governor rod right there, and I think we should be fine. So let's see if we can come straight out. There we go. And then let's see if we can tilt it up here so I can undo this rod here. Let's see without breaking it. And then we can undo the fuel line. Let's see. Don't bend it too much. Which way does it go? Okay, I think it goes up like that for that one. Okay. And then this rod is the same. It goes up and over. Okay, so I'm going to have to undo the fuel line here. At this little bucket here, I'm going to try to catch as much as I can. Now the fuel. Let's see if we can get it out. And then we can undo the governor rod. Okay, come on. Almost. There we go. Come on. Almost. Come on. And then we can take apart this carburetor. I don't know if we can. It looks like a very plasticky carburetor. So we'll see what happens. But there's the fuel. And then this, I think I can undo that like that. Okay, there we go. And then get the fuel out of there. Well, it looks like it's leaking a little bit, but we're going to take the bottom apart here. I'm going to use the back of my screwdriver here. I hope it's smaller of the two. Not, we'll use the other one, but nope, that's not the right size. Okay, I'm back. Looks like it's a 7. So let's take this bottom apart and see how the fuel is flowing through, and then we'll go from there. Because there's fuel, but it's not getting actually into the actual jet in here. On top of the fact that I don't like plastic, you know, because that just tells you it's not made for longevity. Let's see. Okay, those two. Let's see what we got here. Try this apart a little bit. I'm going to try to open this up just a little bit now. Okay. There should be some type of gasket, I would think. Let's see what we got. There we go. And there is fuel in there. And this is a little different than what I've usually take apart. But obviously there is no fuel going up. There's not. It's not being you know, entrained into the jet. Okay. So let's see. So we know the needle and seat part work. What we're curious about is this jet part right here that doesn't seem to want to, you know, pull up the fuel. Alright, hopefully you can see it. Well, I took a little flat blade screwdriver and I went right between the gap here and I started pulling, and it's popped right out. It's just a friction fit. So this is the jet that is most likely clogged, and it's an interesting setup here. So I gotta try to free this up of all the debris that's inside there and up there. It's a very, very interesting setup. It's all plastic, so I'm gonna blow it out and see if we can get it to work. That's the intake, and it's definitely clogged. Okay, I sprayed all the inside here, the jets, and you can see this one. That works. That's leaking out right there, so that's okay. This one here, or the other passage. And that seems to be okay too, depending on where it's leaking out. Okay. From what I can tell inside here, that might just be a dead end or something, or a stub. But it seems like that's okay. So most likely our issue is right here somewhere, between where it picks up and where it comes out over here. So I'm going to take a little bit of cleaner and see what we got. That's got some flow there. That's got some flow. How about in over here? Well, I don't know what that does, but that seems very clogged right there. Nope, you can tell that it comes out right there. Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. Okay, that seems all okay. Alright, well that's kind of interesting then. Well, that seems to be okay. It's everywhere is flowing, including the pickup here. Yep, that's definitely flowing fuel. Okay, let's clean it up. We will reassemble it. Okay, and see what happens. Okay, that goes in here like so. Like that. And then I know that this whole thing fuel worked because it was full of fuel. So that goes like that. And then the ring, the O-ring, just keeps it all nice and tight. So here we go. And then we'll just squeeze it back together. Alright, we're going to put it back together and see if we cleaned out whatever was clogging it from not working. And we'll go from there. Alright, I got the carburetor back together, and we're just going to give it a start and see. I filled it with fuel. Let's see if it works, okay? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Alright guys, what I did was I pulled this tube off of here like this. This goes on here very tight, but I worked it out slowly. And then what you see in the middle tube is the emulsion tube. This is the jet, and this is what you would normally see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run something through them, make sure everything's clear. I got some dirt out of it, but I'm just going to run some carb cleaner through everything and make sure that they're all clear. And that there's nothing hiding inside of there. And right now it looks okay, but I'm going to check this one right here, and then we'll reassemble it because, you know, it's not going. And right now I'm about to, you know, call it quits. But, you know, it's not flowing the way it should. We know that. So we're going to try to clean it up here and get it back together and see what's going on. So we'll get it back on there after we put it back together again. So cleaning out that emulsion tube, taking that secondary part, whatever that little part of it was clogged, that pretty much cured it. So I'm good there. It runs great, no hesitation, but definitely going to have to replace this air filter because it's nasty. But I'm also probably going to put a fuel filter here, in line here, so that we don't have to deal with this problem anymore. So I'm gonna take care of that before I return it, and then tell them to replace this, because I don't, like I said, I don't have these normally here. But otherwise, looks like she's running again. You know, a little bit more work than I thought, a little different than what we thought. Plastic, why would they make that from plastic? Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed another video. Thank you for subscribing, and have a wonderful day. Take care now.